Would you like to see the big guy, the skipper, the head honcho?
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Captain.
You're listening to Morning Joe with the CO.
Good morning, Rota. It is Thursday, January 15th, 7:04 here in beautiful southern Spain, and it is time for another Morning Joe with the CO. I'm here with Captain Charles Chmielak, our base CO, and we have the whole triad coming in today. I'm also here with the Executive Officer, Commander Justin Jennings. How are all you doing today?
Good morning.
Yeah, doing great.
I saw the script yesterday, and I was fired up to know that the whole triad was coming. It's been a long time.
That's right. It's rare we get together, especially on the radio.
Yeah.
That's a joke. We see each other every day.
Yeah,
Very committed to what we do here at Naval Station Rota.
It's my honor to be.
However, we don't always get to address everyone together, and so we look forward to the opportunity.
And then CMC will come in. He's with the chief exam, correct?
That's right.
So we will have the third of the party reuniting.
That's right. Another opportunity to advance our sailors. So it's a great day for the Navy.
That's
right. I look forward to the results.
Yeah. Good luck to all the E6s out there taking the chief exam.
As they say here, suerte. Good luck. Speaking of that, trying to pick up my Spanish, how was the holidays? It's your first Christmas here, sir.
That's right. The holidays are nice. You know, Spain did not disappoint. We enjoyed all the holidays, both the U.S. and Spanish traditions. We were able to see the Three Kings Parade outside the gates in Rota. It was an awesome tradition to take part in, as well as the things we do on base, like the holiday concert and, enjoy the lights in the Winter Wonderland. So the family enjoyed it. We had my mother in town, and so the children and us were able to enjoy our traditions, which is to stay at home and do presents and enjoy each other's company on Christmas Day around the tree.
It's incredible. What about you, sir?
Yeah, so let's see. We've been bit by the travel bug for the last couple of years, so we kind of planned this. We'll call it adventurous trip around. We flew into Belgium. We drove down to where did we go first? We drove down to Luxembourg.
Beautiful.
Went to Luxembourg, Colmar, France. Where else did we go? Hit some Christmas markets. We did the Christmas market round robin. It was about 5 different countries in 6 days. It was aggressive, but we had a good time. It was good. I think I put 1,000 kilometers on a car in 5 days. So lots of driving. But it was cool to kind of see the different countries and the different kind of customs and traditions they had. They were similar, but kind of unique in their own way.
That's incredible. So you said you went to the Three Kings Parade here. Did you pick up the tradition with the, I never forget how to say it, the rosón with your family? It's where you cut the cake?
We do not.
I tried that with my wife.
However, that might be something we can look into next year. We certainly, had a lot to do this year, just catching up with things that we do on base and incorporating that as we mix that into the days that we have leave and celebrations. And so things like serving food at the galley, which is a nice way to interact with the sailors. And in fact, we did have our meal at the galley and enjoy the wonderful food. And I appreciate all the hard work that the local nationals and the employees who are working on those holidays put in to let us celebrate. And especially for our single sailors, the ones who, may not have family, it's a chance to gather and provide some fellowship with each other and share a meal. So that was truly special to be able to do that with them. And I appreciate the other triads, the other folks who came out and served food. It helps speed things along, but also show everybody that you care and interact with folks in a way that they may not see ordinarily providing that service.
The galley here, I'm biased. It's my favorite I've ever been to, personally. I just love it.
I think XO roped in his kids to help, which was good.
That's right. It got the kids in there, get them a little, little community service, a little payback to the community that gives them so much. So yeah, that was good. I think we saw the hospital triad was out there.
That's right.
Yeah. So it was a good showing that day. Got to sit down and talk to some sailors that were not with their families, and yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was a nice time. So
I think we could throw a shout out to our Dama, Melissa Doleful. She was there at the parade. We happened to be on the other side of the float, but they certainly did a great job distributing candy, practicing their throwing arms, reaching the farthest kids across the lanes. So excellent job to all involved.
What is a Dama? I'm silly. I'll look it up because I like words and knowing, attributing to what it means. So I'll do my homework.
Yeah, it's our representative to the local tradition to have damas, and so we just select one a year, and she's able to represent our Naval Station Rota community to the broader community at large and participate in events throughout the year. I think we had a podcast on it about a few months ago when it's Dama season. So we'll be entering the new cycle, and so looking forward to closing out this year through the series of events, and then of course next year is right around the corner. So again, Melissa Doleful.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
We're talking this. I mean, we're going to go into our first song break, get us started. CMC will be in studio soon, but it's a big year coming in, and I'm sorry, so I'm going to have to say off air, you got into the tradition of the grapes.
Oh yeah. So we were up in Madrid for New Year's Eve, and that was fantastic. We just went up for the weekend or for the 3-day, and we did the 12 grapes, one on every chime of the bell at midnight, and that was challenging.
It is.
I think about 9 grapes in, I started choking on grapes or something. It was tough, but we got through it. So
it's good.
Remember, it's the chimes, not the seconds.
Yeah, the chimes.
That's true.
But for partaking in that, I foresee a good future here for this year in Naval Station Rota. So I'm excited to hear what is coming. We're going to take a quick little song break. We got Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue here on AFN Rota the Eagle, serving America's best. Kickstart My Heart. Tommy Lee leading us into this awesome Morning Joe with the CO. Captain Chmielak, our base CO here, and Commander Jennings, our executive officer, ready to talk about what is coming this year.
Sure. All great things. I think this is another great year of building, renovating, operating, and providing the services that NAVSTA Rota is here to do. So, kicking off the new year, it's an appropriate song because it's going to kickstart some DV visits, and it's pretty fantastic. We're excited to showcase the tenants and all we can do to our leadership. So, some of those leaders they're coming here to really engage with the sailors, see the excellence in motion, and also to ask questions and find out from the community, how they can better support us. I think I'll give XO a chance here to highlight some of the nearest DVs to the boat. Yeah,
closest alligators, as they say.
That's right.
I think the other day I coined the next 30 days as DV-mageddon. So that's
in a good way.
Yeah, DV-a-palooza.
There you go.
Yeah,
DV-palooza.
Either way, so we have the commander of MNCC coming out from Millington, and Admiral Brooks is going to come out and he wants to have a town hall with everyone and talk about the issues that are kind of affecting the fleet with regards to like pay and orders and personnel things. So that'll be a good visit. We also have Vice Admiral Gray coming out, who is Commander Navy Installations Command, and his executive director, and they're coming out to visit us and talk about all the support and infrastructure projects that we have going on and ways that we can make the community's lives better. So that's a really important visit for us. Anytime you have your boss's boss coming out, it's kind of a big deal. So let's see other visits we have coming up. We have Commander Surface Forces Atlantics coming out to visit our surface warfare brethren that are down in the port, brothers and sisters that are down there. So that'll be great. And then we have some other higher level DV visits coming as well. And there's going to be more information on that to follow. So
that's right. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're super excited to engage with your leadership, I would make sure that you take the time when the all hands calls are there to make yourself present. If you have questions, ask away. They're here. It's servant leadership at its finest. They're here to find out what they can do, what they can bring back to DC, what they can bring back to Millington to, enhance our lives, and make things better.
Those town halls, you guys put it on the Naval Station Rota Facebook page live, correct? Usually? So for people that aren't able to be there in person, that's awesome.
Yeah, so maybe if you're on duty, you can log in, and I think we've done an excellent job of getting those questions on chat and providing them to the speaker and getting that moment to wait. We have the patience to do it, and I think as we advance into the future with technology, everyone's on board with it, so you can't say you missed out.
Absolutely. You have the opportunity no matter what. The MNCC one's interesting. I was just dealing with MNCC last week, so it's definitely a lot of questions from I got my detailer answered my question, but I know there's probably a plethora of us that would love to speak.
Well, it's been around for quite a while, and I think there's some sailors who are still reluctant to use it. They're not sure how to interact with it, but I think that's all of our jobs to, those of us who have had successful interactions and have used it for many years, is to share that, educate our sailors, get it out there, and let them know that the Navy's there to help.
They are. And then I was looking, I was talking about MNCC. I always see it, like the emails, and I kind of disregarded them for a long time in my short time in the Navy. Another thing I always seem to neglect is a lot of time at the beginning of the year, there's a lot of messages that come out from the higher leadership for the year and the goals. Is there any, do you know what I forget, maybe the CNOs put out a vision this year? Has that resonated with you too?
Well, of course it does. It's, the leadership of our Navy has a vision for the Navy. I think our mission has always been clear for 250 years as we, are still coming through our 250th anniversary. But, as we move forward with progress, I think we focus on things to enhance the Navy's mission. And this year, the CNO's mission for the Navy is to make sure that we're organized, trained, and equipped to deliver peace through strength. Our national interests and prosperity are always at the forefront of everything we do. It's why nations have self-interest in military. Here at NAVSTA, we're a critical part of everything for this theater, for the Navy's mission, and moving into is, we exist for prompt and sustained combat at sea. We enable that. We enable the warfighters. We sustain the fleet. We have people transiting through for both the U.S., Spain, and NATO partners. So, every day is our sailors and local nationals and civilians are working hard to, provide what they call gallery services, just fuel, water, food, ammo, those things that make a ship what it is. And, working overtime, putting in the hours on the weekends, that makes a difference, and it's important. And sometimes you just got to remember the sailors at sea, who appreciate it. They're answering the nation's call. They're on the front lines, forward deployed, transiting back and forth. And, it's nice to know they have a home base to come home to and a place where, they have the security and rest. And, it moves into MWR and the recreation and knowing that their families are safe and taken care of. And so those are all critical components of everything we do here at the installation. And I'm proud to be a part of that.
The gateway to the Med.
That's right.
It's an amazing place. How about you, sir?
It's a lot of the parts of the CNO's mission kind of ring true for us here in Rota and kind of how we support operations, right? So we're kind of unique, and anybody that's been to ICR with me has heard me say it probably, a million times by now, but we're the only installation in Europe that has a port and an airfield and a weapons facility and bulk fuel. And so we're able to do things here that other installations can't, and we routinely fly things into the airfield, put them on a truck, take them down to the port, load them on ships and get it underway, and then bring ships back, offload things, move it up to the airfield and fly it out. And it makes us very unique. And I think that's why all the high level leaders are wanting to see us and see why we're so unique and why, in conjunction with our partnership with the Spanish, we can accomplish the things we can accomplish because we have this great relationship and we're able to move mountains really. And a lot of bases can't do what we do. So it's,
and to have those four capabilities, you want to train like you fight, and to build and sustain a Navy that's ready to fight and win, both for us, and our allies. Just having the ability to store those things, do the maintenance, train at will, and to restock, that's not a capability that every installation has. And so our ability to provide those services keep our people at the top of their game, fully professional and ready at all times, which is, I think the core of what we strive to be as professionals. And so, each person, every day they wake up and go to work, contributes to the readiness of the Navy and that provides a deterrent effect to our adversaries. They know that, here in Rota and all around the world, people are dedicated to the mission, and, they have the resolve to make sure that when our people deploy, they deploy ready to go. And that's a fearsome thought, and I think that's what we want everyone to remember is, if they see a Navy ship, it's a ready Navy ship, and it's not a ship to be trifled with.
Being here is crazy because we're the guests here, and you can be walking around and you'll see all different flags from different militaries, so it's awesome to see that unity with the Allies. And I've never experienced that. Naval Station Norfolk, I once had a big NATO visit, but walking around on a random day and you see all the, mission being happening simultaneously with other countries, I think that's just so cool. So yeah, Naval Station Rotas.
There's always an effort to make bilateral exercises and to integrate as much as we can through our various combatant commands and allied nations exercising. You'll hear the CNO talk about the foundry, the fleet, and the fight, and Rota, the naval station, Base de Valle Rota, that's a nexus of those things. Mm-hmm. So I'm proud to integrate those and put them together into the fighting forces that we have, and doing my part to make sure that the fleet, the fighter, and the families are taken care of is a mission I'm proud of every day, and I look forward to it. I think the hard work of the XO and the CMC and all of our naval installation personnel, and every person contributes. If there's an E3 out there who is mentoring an E1, and training them how to do their job, how to, dock the boats, move the fuel lines, drive a forklift. Nothing is insignificant because everything is important. I do not have a forklift license. And I think sometimes, those younger people than myself who joined the Navy and, they're doing the hard work, sometimes in the middle of it, you forget how important you are because you're doing something that you're trained to do that's taken hours to be excellent at, and, you're not replaceable. We need every person and every billet doing their job every day.
You both are talking so eloquently. You say that, and then I'm over here fumbling on my words, so you could replace me right now. But no, it was beautifully put with the E3 training, E1. I mean, that's represents so much. But you guys have perfectly described this. We're going to take a quick little song break, though, and then continue on. Right now we got some, I believe this is from the K-pop Demon Hunters, Golden.
Another special request from a special person out there.
Shout out. Here we go.
Shout out to Cora.
I'm back with Commander Jennings, Executive Officer, and Commanding Officer Captain Chmielak. How are you guys doing?
Still great.
Yeah. This coffee's kicking in. I'm waking up.
Yeah, moving along. It's another fine Navy day, as I've heard some wise men and women say in the past. But, I think as I look forward to the next year, one of the things that is important for all commands and everyone in it is to kind of understand what direction we're moving in. We talked about the CNO's goals and what he wants for the Navy, and of course we're all in alignment, and that's the way to keep an organization synced and synchronized. But I like to keep things very simple, and what they say is nested. So you look at what the big Navy is prioritizing, and you look at what installations is prioritizing, and you balance that with the mission and of each of those organizations. And I've really reduced our mission into the simplicity of just what are we here to do. And I think every day, if you wake up and you realize we're here to sustain the fleet, enable the warfighter, and support the family, it's clear on what you should be doing. And if you're doing something in support of those three efforts, then you're doing the right thing. If you find yourself wandering off, maybe you can refocus. And if you ever think what's important, those three things are important. It's what we're here to do. It's why we serve. People ask, okay, well, what's your vision, right? And my vision is that we're the premier installation, around the world, that we're providing peerless service and operational support, while maintaining the enduring alliance with Spain. If we do that, we've done that for 70 years. We're going to do that for 70 more years. And, both nations and our militaries prosper through it. It's a healthy relationship, and I look forward to the interactions every day. But, as people think, where are we going, Skipper? Like, we're going into the future, and we're going in with progress and readiness in mind. And, if you're focused on being the best you can be and making, Rota, our home, this installation, the best it can be, through all of our individual efforts, then it'll continue to be the, destination of choice for all sailors everywhere. Rota's got a great reputation. It's our job to, be the caretakers of that for just a little while and then turn it into the next generation. Some of the things when they're like, how are you going to accomplish that? I have got three things that come to mind that will move us through at least my tenure as maybe the next person will evolve is, I think it's important every day that we're ready to do your mission, to be at work, ready to go home, engage with, be with your family, be present when you're on leave, to have fun. You have to be ready for everything. Here at the Naval Station, we have to be ready for operations, crises, and again, that's a homage to what we've done in the past and where we're going into the future. I really focus on the word steadfast, because each of us makes a commitment. You have honor, courage, and commitment, but being steadfast in what you do, waking up, it's the work ethic, it's showing up on time, committed to the job, always ready to execute the mission, and then providing the highest quality services to our families. That takes thought, it takes determination, and it takes effort. But if you dig deep and are committed to your job and know, like we talked about, how important it is to the big picture, then you're steadfast in your work. And then last, professional. But that means we're all professionals. Families are here. They're part of this organization. When we are on duty or off duty or out in town, we're professional in everything we do. And, we train like we fight. We want the highest level of performance, but also conducting ourselves with honor and integrity. And that includes out in town. So, we are all ambassadors to the community. We represent the country. We represent our values. We represent this base. And so, you are not a tourist here, right? We are part of the community, and we owe it to each other and the broader Navy and military community to, be the very best and to interact with kindness and follow the laws, respect the traditions, integrate. And if we do those things, then all of our tours here and the future of the installation will be strong.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Sir, do you have anything to add?
No, I completely echo, Skipper's guiding principles there, and as a way to help us in our daily interactions, professionally and personally. The thing I like to add, and I say this a lot, but not being in the United States and having daily interactions, with our Spanish hosts, it's really important that you make that good first impression or that good impression, because you might be, the first American, highly unlikely locally, but maybe as we venture out throughout Europe or Spain, right, you might be the first American that person meets. And so you're going to set the impression in that person's mind of what all Americans are like. And that's a huge thing to consider, right? So just making sure that whatever that interaction is, it's a good one, and you're acting as a professional. So, yeah.
Be a good human.
Be a good person. Yeah.
Not hard to do that, but sometimes people struggle. But I think it is good to just be a good person in all facets of life.
So if you look around, through 2026, as we look at the new year, there's a lot of exciting things happening around base. We're always in a state of readiness. We're always responding to current operations. We're critical to the theater. We're critical to world events. But you'll also see parts of the base that are undergoing renovations, parts of the base that are being constructed. Those are fantastic things to see, because they represent both commitment to the local area, but it also means jobs. It means, relevance to the community. It means future commitment. I see a crane, and it symbolizes so much, right? It symbolizes the things that it was replacing in the past, one of the big projects going on right now is replacing the air terminal. And so, I think it's one of the last of the oldest buildings on the base. It's been around for 70 years. It's served us well. But as we look forward into the future and how we conduct air operations in the most efficient manner, as all people travel through all air terminals, you can tell when something is highly efficient. And so, one of our major projects right now is a new air terminal, and we're about to break ground on that building within the next year. And, that will take some time. It's going to be a few years until we do the ribbon cutting. But, in the meantime, that's a symbol of hope. It's a symbol of progress. And, it's going to provide a lot of work for a lot of people. So I think it's all something that we can be proud of. And, but it also takes some patience. So I know, as we are proud to see these cranes and to see the construction go up, you see it at the port, you see it all over the base. Be patient, respect the lanes, respect the driving. I'll take a little tangent here and talk about safe driving. Look both ways before you cross the street. Use your crosswalks. If you're driving right now, slow down, follow the speed limit. Our street lights are out there, but some of the base don't have it, and you need to be an attentive driver. We've had some near misses and some accidents that were completely preventable, and so we are on the lookout. Security is out there. They're checking your speed, and as a public safety is one of my key responsibilities. I will make sure that people are following the rules that we put out there, because it's important and it's for the collective good. So,
yeah, we have some. We have a lot of projects in the works to get some new streetlights for some of those darker areas. But speaking of projects, I think the base has almost $500 million worth of MILCON going on right now, and that's a huge number. Right, and it's everything from a new hangar for HSM 37 to vehicle facilities for the CBs,
headquarters buildings for the Air Force.
Yeah, and the EOD boathouse. Like, everything is growing, and I feel like that is going to be the word that is going to take us through the next few years. Really, is just all of the growth here. Right, and I'd say probably about a month ago, we secured $6.1 million to update all the barracks in Camp Mitchell. Like, we're continually working to make the facilities and the infrastructure here, better for the community and for our growing community, right? So
it's all about quality of life, right? And you'll hear people say quality of services. And so, you take something like the bowling alley. Is it the best bowling alley we could provide? It's a good bowling alley, but we're working on a better one. The golf course provides tons of entertainment. It's an excellent sport, but there's time for renewal. So that's a project on the books. There's just so much to look forward to. If you're someone who is planning to come to Rota or is in Rota, you can enjoy what we have, but as we see some people who are on a second and third tour, it's continuously improving, and it will be even better when you come back.
It's exciting.
Yeah, which is hard to beat.
I think part of that, Skipper, is we talk about there $500 million. That's a lot of money, right? And the Navy's making a big investment into Rota, and
that's right.
The thing that I guess one of the messages that we talked about that we're trying to get out to the community is ownership, right? So, like, this is our base, this is our community, this is our home, this is where we live, right? So, if you were walking around your house and there was trash on the ground, would you leave it there or would you pick it up? Right?
I would pick it up.
Right, I'd pick it up too. So when I walk around base, I have a kind of a silly saying, but I don't walk by trash, right? So if there's trash on the ground or something we could do to make our home more beautiful, we try to do it. And I think CMC is really, really trying to get after this via the self-help and the first lieutenant kind of department stand up. But I'm going to let him talk more on that a little bit later. But I think taking ownership of what we do have kind of takes what the Navy gives us right? So they give you the structure, but we make it a home, right? So I think ownership through the growth is going to be crucial to make this somewhere that we want to continue to live. So
it's going to be crazy to see what the year does, but these incipient stages are awesome to enjoy as well. But we'll be right back. We're going to do a quick little song break. Espresso. Anyone tired out there? Take a little espresso break. Morning Joe with the CO. So Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter is actually a perfectly timed song. I don't remember which one of you two came up with that idea. It's amazing the intelligence that comes in between the CO and XO here, and I'm just sitting here in awe. But also, I have a new special guest in the studio. We all know who it is. It's Christina from Liberty Center. Also, for me, Chief Brewer. I'm going to have you take over the mic.
Yeah, don't bend down too far, okay? I don't want you to hurt your back. It's early. I'm short. You're tall. We know.
It's Christina today.
Christina today.
Right.
That's right. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Great.
What gives us the pleasure of your company today?
Well, I'm here to help you guys set your goals for the future. And you mentioned a few on the last talk break, which was awesome. And it's great to have professional goals, but also you mentioned family goals and personal goals are key, right? You don't have to set them at the beginning of a new year. It's easy to say new year, new me. It's not. I'm not new. I am older and everything hurts a little more. But it's even more important as we grow to have our goals also move with us. So do you guys have any goals for this year? Have you thought about them outside of work?
Bigger, faster, stronger.
I don't want to be bigger. I would be smaller, faster, stronger for myself.
Yeah,
I don't need any bulking assistance.
I'm on board with that right there.
Yeah.
So, no, to your point, right? Like you don't have to have a new year to set goals, right? But it does give us an opportunity to reflect. But I had a goal. I guess middle of last year, I had this like realization that, my uniforms didn't fit the way they used to, right? So middle to the end of last year, probably August time frame, I was like, you know what? I'm done making excuses. I'm going to pay MWR. I'm going to hire the personal trainer at the gym, and I'm going to get some accountability. And I'm like, because I tried to do it on my own, and I really struggled, especially with all the demands of work, right? So, but I hired a trainer, and 7 months later, my uniforms all fit a little better, and so I want to continue that journey. And that's kind of one of my goals for the year, I guess, in addition to traveling more. So.
Yes.
Well, and I think that's it. As the year goes, as we go through the year, and our situation changes, I think things need to evolve. But as we talked about, being steadfast and keeping committed, your eye on the prize. But coming off of just what seems like a few months ago, but is now, since June, PCS is a very hard time, and still adjusting to that. So, some of the things that I'm, working on is, going to bed a little earlier, working out a little longer, but being a little more deliberate or intentional about, taking care of mobility and, working on total body fitness, not just, trying to deadlift, a few times my body weight, or, trying to be a little more intentional about, I'm just going to run 10K today, and maybe we could build up to that again, maybe you can do it once, but probably not 2 days in a row, just, so those are the things, eating better, not, sitting down and really taking into account the things that we talk about in the Rota Arrival Guide, savoring the local food, enjoying what enjoying the flavor, and, not necessarily getting the biggest meal, but getting the best meal. So spending time with the family, doing more, traveling more, taking advantage of the area. Yeah. Those are all things that on arrival, it's really important to understand where you fit in, get the work. It's kind of front loaded, but you also have to reassess, and I think this is a great time to do it. It also happens to be the beginning of the new year, but I certainly don't I would tell anybody, don't lock yourself into a construct of our own creation that the new year is only the time when you should reevaluate. We should always be reevaluating our day, but having the goals, doing one cool thing, one day trip a month, and then at the end of the year you've got 12, if you're deployed, read a book, one book a month. If it's a good, long, big, meaningful book, or listen to a book, or, there's 100 ways to get educated, but learn a new thing, if you're learning Spanish, a new word a week, if it's new. There's lots of ways to set small goals and move forward.
Yeah, and I think it, like what you said, a social construct of new year, new me. I am not a winter person. I don't do my best. Life changes when I am wrapped in 8 blankets holding a space heater. However, May, that works for me. That works for me. That's when I've made my biggest, and stuck to it moments. So, yeah, and every year I try to do one thing that scares me.
Oh.
You got to get uncomfortable, right? The strawberry does not get sweeter by being fed constant nutrition and water. It's got to earn the sweetness, and that is earning the sweetness of life. So get uncomfortable. I have challenged myself to finish a book I started writing. I'm around 20,000 words. So my goal is every quarter to knock another 20,000 out, and hopefully try to get it published, or at least self-published and printed by the end of the year.
20,000 words a quarter. That's
wow.
I can do it.
That's
I think.
Impressive.
90 days, 20,000 divided by 90. How many words a day you need?
Let's be real. What happens is I sit down and I try to write, and then nothing happens, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, that's what's happening next, and then I
inspiration
bang out 8,000 words, and then there's another 4 or 5 weeks of just crickets.
So I did the math. You need 222.2 words a day.
Oh, when you say like that,
just
it's
like that.
So easy.
Make sure you get the point 2.
The point 2, yes.
Right.
That's definitely the punctuation.
Yeah. So it sounds like if you did 8,000 words, you're a little ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, good job.
I don't know if I don't know if you guys saw the video on the Facebook page, but Skipper CMC and I jumped off a rappel tower with Santa Claus.
I saw that.
Yeah, that scared the living daylights out of me, because I don't really love
today.
heights, but it was fun.
Yeah,
I got to find something cool for this year.
One new cool thing for the month.
Yeah.
The kids are in activities. Doing an extra swim meet. That's a cool thing for them. They compete. You get out there. You get tested. I think that helps them grow. And as long as you have a growth mindset and you're not stagnant. If it's people get deterred because it's raining, buy some rain boots. Go out barefoot. Enjoy the rain. You can't change the circumstances sometimes, but you can change your attitude.
It's true. And part of changing your attitude sometimes is seeing it visually. So I made you guys a vision board. This is what I would like my 2026 to look like. I would like to go to more concerts. I'd like to acquire more dogs, even though that's probably not going to be allowed in my household.
You can volunteer at the RAL.
I do. I'd like to spend more time with my dogs at least. Get back to cooking weird and exciting food. Spend more time at the beach. I don't know if you recognize the very small child in the center there, but I would like to spend more time embracing life the way I did when I was about that age. Look at those sunglasses. Look at that karate gi.
Epic.
That was a cool kid.
Epic.
Yeah. Hang out with the community more. I get to see a lot of our sailors at the Liberty Center. It's the best part about my job. But I want to spend more time with our community. So that's my goal for this year. And then the snail on the track, that's my favorite. That's actually from January 1st of 2023, and I started my fitness journey. It was the first day of the year. I was out there. It is a snail's pace. That is my pace. My goal this year is to speed it up a little. And then, of course, more time with my family, who I just think they're the best family. You guys have great families. I've met them. They're lovely. But mine is the best. So, if you were to put a board together, is there anything that you would put at the top in that first corner, or the heart of your board?
Sure. I think at the top of the board, we have to start with our what's most close and dear, and I think that would be, spending more quality time as a family together, doing things, traveling more. We've started to do more game nights, so probably a game board. I think that makes everybody happy. It's exciting. The kids are getting older, as they understand the more complex rules. I was joking that we sat down at Christmas and we're doing some of the game boards that I watched my JOs play all through a deployment, and I was like, here we go. It does. It's good for all ages.
So family's at the center for me as well. As my 16-year-old son continually reminds me, we only have, 2 more school years together before he's going off to college. And so I think that's probably going to be my focus here for the next little while, is like spending quality time as a family. So,
because sometimes you can't control the amount of time, and I think that's, and I for everybody out there who's, maybe struggling to come up with it, I think, focusing on that, and that's the important, I think, of what you're getting out with the vision board, is you need to be reminding yourself to come back to it, because sometimes you might fall short of what your goal is. Work might be a little longer. You might get, distracted by something, and you just need to keep resetting it. You need to get back to what's important.
I think it's also a great way to see how your goals have shifted. And, we've talked about a lot of things in this very short amount of time. And that's one of the things, I was here to talk about mind, body, mental fitness. And just a real quick, we have all of those tools with our MBMF team, and you guys have participated in our Kraken games, and what a fun and exciting but also valuable tool that is. Yep. We are going to be doing another one in February. I hope to see both of you out there.
Oh, I'll be there.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely.
You're ready to take it on again.
Go.
Yeah. But it's a great way to also reassess and, find that resiliency, because when we are talking about meeting goals and reaching your vision of your ultimate you, sometimes that resiliency, it sounds like a good thing, but it feels really hard, and we really want to help you make your goals and be your best you that you can be, because life is not that long, and we want to be great and enjoy it, and we want the knees to work so we can go on the adventures.
Well, I want that message to resonate with folks, and I want them to think about it for a minute, because we've talked about the things, basically asking for help, right? And sometimes you can do it alone, but with somebody else you can do it better and go farther, and you can provide help with Mind Body Fitness. MWR can provide help through their programs. Fleet and Family Support Center has programs. All of these things are on base, and you could see them in the coastline and in Vamos. And you can, if you really just need to get out of the house, go visit the building. Go visit Fleet and Family Support. Just ask the front desk, what exactly? Remind me what you do again. How can you help me? And they would love to help you. Find the PAO. He would love to explain everything we do as the nexus of information and guide you to the right place.
It's true, and I hate to have to do this, but it is about that time. Thank you guys so much for having me. I hope we have many more meetings in the studio this year, and Happy New Year to everyone in Rota.
Yeah, I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, Christina. That class sounds awesome.
I hope to see you out there.
It's so fun.
I bet. And then it is 7:59. We have 20 seconds. Is there any programs you want to put out?
Yeah, one quick shout out for the MWR one-person golf scramble, Saturday, January 24th at 9 a.m. Meet at the golf club. Expect to pay a moderate green fee.
It's cool. It's January, and you can play golf tournaments. That's the beauty of living here in southern Spain. CO, EXO, I just want to say thank you so much for coming and kicking off this new year with such a wonderful show. It was mind-blowing how eloquently you both put everything. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you. I can't wait. And CMC obviously was not able to come in, but he has his own show, so stick around in the future. Comes on every, I believe, third Tuesday. So stick around for that. Amazing stuff. But thank you so much.